I want to begin just by looking at some examples of using sound in an interactive kind of creative mode. And I'm just going to click through some of these examples that I've found. I'll also post the links so you can explore these yourselves. The first one is this site called patatap.com. And if I go to the site, let me just click through to it here. What you'll see is a website, and it'll load up. It's loading up some different sound samples. Let me just refresh the page there. There we go. And once it's running, we can press any key on the keyboard, and it creates a sound, but then it has this graphic that goes along with it. So if I press the letters of my name, J, A, R, E, D, I get these different sounds. So it's quite fun to play around with. You can sort of make a little rhythm. I always end up just mashing the keyboard. If you've got an artist that has some kind of fun little samples that you could play around with, maybe you could look at this as a technique for that second brief, visualizing parts of music by playing the sample, but also coming up with a graphic that fits with it. And I think that's quite well done here. These graphics that are made kind of suit the sounds that get played. The next example is more of a game-like playful experience. It's called Plink, and again it's a website. And if I click into that one, when you go to the website, there are these two options at the bottom, Go Private or Play Now. I tried clicking on the Play Now, and that's like a public area where you can play this little game with other people. It wasn't working for me today, so I'm going to click into the private one and make up a name, and then make up a player name, and I can invite people to play along with me. I'm not going to do that here, but if you try this out with your friends, you should be able to make this play along. And what's nice about this one, I've got this very simple interface where I'm kind of flying through space, and then if I press the mouse button down, I have no musical talent at all, but this is actually quite fun. Quite fun to play along with. And if you get a few of your friends in there, you can sort of see each other playing and try and create a little rhythm together. I should stop now before I really get carried away. The next one I won't load up, but this is a nice one called Audio Game. And this was a creative digital studio that made these little playful experiences for kind of museum exhibits. And this is an example where you could blow into a microphone and it would cause this ship to be animated and kind of sail across the screen. If you look on the Week 10 tutorial notes, there's an example like that on the Week 10 tutorial notes, written in P5.js. Here's another one. This is a simple step sequencer written again in the web. This is, if you go to this tonematrixaudiotool.com, you'll see this one. But here's one that I wrote using P5.js, and I'll just load it up. And it's quite amazing to me what you can actually do in P5.js just with the sound tools that are there. So in this one, if I click these little squares, turn it up a little bit, you'll see I can build a simple little rhythm. I get carried away on these things really very quickly. I find them a lot of fun. Of course, when you're working with sound, you can also get unexpected things happening. And there's a bit of a funny story with this one. I can pause it by pressing the space bar. I thought it might be fun if I could change the, let me see what it is. There's a way to change the sound effect that gets played. Let's go to Sketches and see how it's written. I'll go down to where the keys are. Here we go. Oh, up arrow and down arrow, that increases the speed. Right arrow and left arrow, yeah, changes which sound effect gets played. So let's just run the sketch. So but by default, it's this little beep. And as soon as you have anything repeating, you kind of get a rhythm out of it. So it's not too hard to make something that sounds kind of semi-okay. But if I change it to this other one, I've got like random office equipment sound effects. Which is kind of interesting, maybe not quite as musical. And then I thought it would be fun. Wouldn't it sound nice if we made some beautiful bird chirps as the sound? It sounds terrible. I'll stop that. So you don't always get what you expect when you're working with sound. All right, that's just some quick examples of the sorts of things that we could do, little simple creative coding sketches using sound, and a couple of them written in P5.js, and you're welcome to go and explore those and find out how they work. In the next part, I'm going to talk about how we represent sound as data in the computer, just to understand that, have that fundamental there. And then the last part, we'll actually look at using that data in a P5.js sketch.